Hi, I'm Kim Raynor, and I want to welcome you to episode 22 of All About Spirits. Whoa, Life After Cancer. Sorry about that. And I am doing this as a regular video today because Facebook Live keeps shutting down on us for whatever reason. So, before I start today's episode, I just want to touch base and talk a little bit about why I do this show. And it really is because when we are given a cancer diagnosis, it absolutely impacts every aspect of our lives. It affects our relationships with ourselves, our relationship with other people, our work, our home life, our careers, our spiritual life, our sex life. It affects everything. And, stepping back into life after cancer can be a real challenge for some people. Not for everybody, but for some people. So every Monday I do this show at 10 o'clock, and it really is 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how much information I have to share that day. And it really is to help offer people the support that I didn't feel like I could get when I was going through my own cancer treatment. So I am here with All About Spirits episode number 22, and today's episode is called The Pins and Needles of Cancer, and it's about acupuncture. So welcome to episode 22, and as you can see, I am back outside, and it is cool, but it's not freezing, and the ground is clear enough to walk on, so I'm really happy to be back out here today. And as I start today's episode, I want to tell you that I am, first of all, by no means an acupuncture expert. I'm an acupuncture patient who knows how to lay on the table and get acupuncture treatments. And the research that I did when I was going through my own cancer treatment to try and figure out how to heal myself and get healing while I was going through my Western medicine treatment, acupuncture was one of those tools that I used. And I'm guessing that most people have heard about acupuncture in one way, shape, or form. And, it's really an ancient form of Chinese medicine. It's been around for thousands of years. And the way it works is your practitioner puts really fine needles under the surface of your skin to try and move vital life force energy, which is something that's called qi. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, as I get on in the show. And qi energy that's the life force energy that flows through us all. And when it gets stuck, it is believed to cause sickness and emotional wounds and all sorts of stuff like that. So acupuncture is a tool that is used to try and help clear the pathways and to help energy circulate through your body and help to balance your own energy. And when I was going through my cancer treatment, acupuncture was a tool that I used pretty much anecdotally. There wasn't any great scientific evidence saying that acupuncture was going to be a great tool to use or anything like that. So I used it anecdotally. And in 2010, there was an article that was written, and I'm just going to look at some notes here so I get the information right on their names. It was written by a gentleman named David O'Regan and Jacqueline Filshy, and it was actually scientific information about acupuncture and what happens to us physiologically when we are using acupuncture. How does it work? Why does it work? What happens for us? And that's really what I'm gonna talk a little bit about today. And the first thing that I'll mention is that, again, when I was doing this was really anecdotal for me. And there's been a lot of scientific work done around acupuncture and other kind of healing modalities since 2007. And there has been a lot of research that has proven that acupuncture really offers some some significant benefits to the neurological process, that it actually has impact on your brain. It actually changes the way that your brain functions. And when they were studying this or looking at this information, they studied it using MRIs while they were doing acupuncture treatment to see what was going on for people. And they found that when they stimulated certain points on the body, your brain actually released neurotransmitters, and it changed the function of your brain, and it affected your central nervous system in some pretty significant ways. And that was pretty significant research and science. It also showed up that it would alter the expression of some of the genes in people when acupuncture was being used. And it changed the opioid production in the body, so your natural pain relievers would get activated, which is really fascinating. And again, I didn't know that this stuff was going on when I went through my cancer treatment, but they know scientifically today. These are really big deals. And it also, Western medicine used to really poo-poo acupuncture and all kinds of other energy work. And since then, since they're able to measure it and, with new instrumentation and stuff, it has really made it's really made Western medicine stand up and say, hey, there might be some value to some of this stuff. And I'm going to tell you, if you're actively going through treatment, before you do anything to change your regimen or do anything that's going to invite any kind of other processes in, talk to your medical provider. Don't make changes in your treatment without talking to somebody who really is a professional, because you don't want to do anything that's going to be contraindicated or that's going to interfere with the treatment that they're giving you if you're using Western medicine treatment. So make sure that you're talking to your practitioners all the way through your process. And in this article that I read, and I will actually attach a link to the actual article so you can read it if you're interested. The article talked about how acupuncture actually works and treats your body when you're going through cancer treatment. And one of the things that it talked about is the fact that it activates certain parts of your brain. And one of the parts that it activates is the hypothalamus. And your hypothalamus it's the link between your nervous system and your endocrine system. And, we know basically what our nervous system does. The endocrine system is actually the system that it works with hormones. It releases hormones. It regulates hormones. And it also is responsible for cell and organ activity. So when you think about cancer and the role that cancer has and what's going on in your body, those are rapid cell manufacturing that's happening. So if acupuncture can interrupt that, if it can change that, why would you not look at that and play with that? And it also it impacts something called the nucleus accumbens, and that's the reward center of the brain. That is the part of your brain certainly that plays out in addiction. It's an active part of that. It has to do with dopamine production and serotonin production and things like that. So along with activating those two parts of your brain, it also deactivates certain parts of your brain. And that one of the parts is the anterior cingulate cortex, which is the part of your brain that regulates your blood pressure. It regulates your heart rate. So when you're struggling or going through your treatment and you're so stressed out and you're so nervous about what's going on, having something non-pharmacological that can help impact your blood pressure, why would you not do that? That just makes sense, to give your body every opportunity it's got to heal. It also impacts your amygdala, which is responsible for, that's the part of your brain that deals with your flight, fight, and freeze part. So it has to do with the way that you process fear, and it has to do with the way that you prepare for emergencies, and it has to do with your perception of emotions, how emotions impact you. So that's really significant because when we're diagnosed with cancer, our stress is so high. We get so fearful about things. So having a tool like acupuncture where we can help lower that stress is really significant. It also can be used, acupuncture can also be used for pain modification. It works kind of like an analgesic where it actually, oh, excuse me, my hair's in my mouth. It actually, it modifies the brain's cognitive perception of what pain looks like or what pain feels like. And it also helps to influence the way that you are signaled about pain. So you can take a pain incident or episode and actually have it, the perception of it be decreased by using acupuncture, which is really pretty amazing, especially if you have problems taking pain medications. So that's a really significant tool. Another thing that acupuncture is proven for, and they actually, this article used the language, is proven effective as a treatment for nausea. And the benefits of acupuncture when it's used with pharmacologicals is, for nausea, is really significant. And because acupuncture or acupressure can be self-administered, it's really a powerful tool, so you can use it anytime, anywhere. You don't necessarily have to go to a practitioner for that. You can use acupressure. And let's see, it also has been known to decrease the severity of nausea, and it's also used in the treatment of fatigue, which is really significant because when you're going through your cancer treatment, so many times we're struggling with exhaustion. And it is, actually there was a study that was done where they looked at people a year after their cancer treatment was over, and the baseline of those people that they studied was 36% higher. Their baseline was 36% higher in the fatigue scores than it was prior to their acupuncture treatment. So that means that they were 36% less tired or fatigued. And that's really significant. So these are ways that we can improve our quality of life. We can just make ourselves feel better, help ourselves feel better. And then, you know, they've been using acupuncture studies or work for anxiety and depression for a long time. And there's studies that say that when you combine acupuncture with pharmacologicals, that the success rate is really high, that it's faster than it is when you just use pharmacologicals alone. And it also, acupuncture helps to increase melatonin secretion, which can be used to help combat sleeping problems, which a lot of times people, when they're going through their cancer treatment, they end up getting insomnia. So when I was going through my treatment, I used acupuncture for relaxation, certainly. I used it to help heal my surgery site. I used it for pain management and for the effects of my chemotherapy. I used it to treat nausea. I ended up with peripheral neuropathy, and I used it to help treat that. I used it for scar tissue formation to help release the energy that gets stuck in there in the creating of the scar tissue. I used it for stress and anxiety. I used it for hot flashes and fatigue and sleep problems and digestive problems. So if you're going through your treatment and you are interested in a complementary alternative medicine, acupuncture is a really, really powerful tool that I would really invite you to take a look at and to try. So if you have questions about acupuncture, again, I can tell you I am not an expert. If you live in Wisconsin, I can connect you with a really awesome acupuncturist. If you're interested, you can reach out and I'll share his information with you. And if you have questions about this or anything else about any of these shows or just walking through your process, please feel free to reach out to me and I will respond as quickly as I can. And If you found any of this information helpful, I invite you to share it, to like it on Facebook and share it with other people so they have access to the information as well. And I really want to thank you for being here today. And until we actually get a chance to talk, I hope that life treats you well and that you treat life well too. Thanks again for being here.